Hey guys, welcome to Minutes with me. I'm Bonchon Fitness, and this is Daniel Ashmead from Ashmead Fitness. And we're going to talk about two different topics today. Like I said, there are questions coming in. So these are the two questions that we're going to answer. And it's two business questions. But yeah, so the first question is how do we turn how to turn from a general business model of training to a specific niche market. And pretty much Daniel's going to cover that. So how do we do that, Daniel?
Well, I think that's a really good one because being in the field for so long, I've had lots of experience and understanding that for myself. Starting off in a big box gym, and when you're really just trying to get out there and train everyone, you take everybody. And like we said, that's the best thing to do. Take everyone, always say yes, train as many people, different types of people as you can. But there comes a time where there can be some trouble with that just because you can get tied into training. Say if you have in a big box gym, you have 5 or 10 different clients, and then they're all different ages, stages, fitness levels. And to save time, what most of us should do is kind of like more or less get up a cookie cutter type program that will work with everybody, which is okay because overall fitness is what we want. So a squat is a squat, a press is a press, a pull is a pull, and getting everyone strong, building muscle mass, and losing body fat. That's what everyone's
Yeah,
ultimate goal is, right?
yeah,
But once you start to progress and really find out your niche market of who you want to work, you're going to be able to tailor your program accordingly. So, for example, myself, my ideal clientele is the business professional. So they're between 40 to 60 years old. They usually have their own business or they're a CEO of some kind of company. You know, they have a lot of residual income. The kids are gone. They have the time. Their goals are usually mobility, pain relief, some medical, small strength, you know, a little bit of fat loss. And it's not fat loss because they want to look, anything to do with vanity, just fat loss because health reasons or fat loss because they want to enjoy and have a better quality of life,
yeah. Better
right?
for their joints, right? So
Yeah, for their joints and things like that. So that being said, I'm able to tailor my programs and make sure that I'm really specifying what they need, even if that's maybe only 20 minutes of resistance training and 40 minutes of flexibility. Some of my clients for a whole hour, all we did was go for a walk together because that's what they need and that's what got their heart rate up, and they were in a stressful state at that time. They weren't focused. So you know what? Let's go for a walk, let's talk about what's going on. And you know what? That's still a great workout for them, right?
hmm
And like with you, which we've spoken about a lot, I know with you, it's more of a female clientele base between, I
yeah,
would say, 20 to 30 years old. That's your kind of ideal, right? And that works with you, and you're able to really tailor and specialize in that kind of training.
yeah. I would say from age 23 to 50, like busy mom, right? Or just finishing school and they got a job, they're working, right? They're stable and they're just wanting to not only look better but also feel better. And I'm more into like the transformation, right? The art of transformation of their body,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Shaping and working on their glutes because I know that they want to look like an hourglass, right? They want
right.
they want the booty, they want the narrow the waist
Yeah,
smaller, right?
yeah.
Narrow shoulders and everything. But yeah, that's pretty much my niche target.
Yeah, and it just works. And because we know what we go for, we're able to target our marketing to that clientele. We're able to refer clients that won't work with us, and it makes our life better and it makes their life better. It makes it more enjoyable. The big thing that I love about the people that I work with is I've learned so much from them. I work with people in politics, I work with CEOs, I work with health professionals, I work with business owners, entrepreneurs. I work with a lot of my people who are fathers. So me being a new father, I can ask a lot of questions and get a lot of guidance from them on how to make myself a better person. You know, what book should I listen to? What book should I read that'll make me better in terms of my professional life and into my personal life, right? So it's
Yeah.
a give and take. And with my clientele also, it's a lot more longevity. Most of my clients I've worked with over 2 years because finances isn't an issue and because we've been able to build that relationship and we have a better understanding with each other, it makes it a much better and a much more enjoyable relationship between the two of us.
Yeah.
So all in all, I would say niche market is best. At first, try with everybody. Then once you know who you like to work with, stick with that niche because you're able to specify and really tailor and perfect your art for that type of person. Because there's just so many
Yeah.
different types of fitness out there. Like my wife and I were watching the Echo race. You know, these people are long life endurance athletes doing a race that's 11 days through terrain and all kinds of craziness, oceans and rivers and climbing up mountains and all that stuff. You know, their training is going to be different from me, who's your typical bodybuilder, right? So there's just so much out there in this fitness world, which is amazing, that if you can really pinpoint exactly who works best for you or you work best with, there's enough clients out there in that niche that you can really make their life that much better.
Yeah. And also I want to add to that is too, like, if you get into a niche, you can always change it.
Definitely
Right?
you can.
You can always
And
change it.
and I'm not saying, yeah, because for sure, like, yeah, that's my niche, but I still train teenagers. I still train a
Yeah.
lot of stay-home moms, right? But I know that who I best work with are them because
Yeah.
I love when they book me in like any other appointment. I know when I'm coming there, they're going to listen. They're not going to argue. They're going to do what I say. They do their homework, you know, and that's why they get the results because that's the type of people I'm looking for. Therefore, I can educate myself and I can spend more time in becoming a better trainer for them and a more educated health and wellness professional so that I can always give them the new upcoming information because I don't have to babysit them as much. I know that they're going to do what they're supposed to do. So therefore I can be better and give them more.
Yeah. And like, is this coming off of a big box gym, like finding a niche, or like do you have, like, say if you're starting self-employed or a big
Yeah.
box gym, it applies the same way?
I
Yeah.
would say it applies the same for sure. Big box gym, the benefit and the glory of that is you're around so many different people all the time. So you have more exposure to people. But even if you're starting off going in homes, right? Just take anyone at this point and you'll see who comes and, you know, once you have the experience with that, it just comes so easy. Like with you, Bon, I'm sure there's like, as soon as you see a certain client, there's a client you're like, yes, I like training this type of person, or no, this isn't my favorite, but you know what? I'm still going to do my best to make sure they have the best experience, but they wouldn't be my best choice. And
Yeah.
that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that, right?
Yeah. And you will get to a point where you'll start to say no to certain people,
Yes.
right? You'll be full, or you're focusing on something else, and there's clients, you know, new potential clients that are looking for you, but is it your niche? Is it someone
Yeah.
that you want?
That
Is
you
it a
want to work
person?
with.
Yeah,
Well,
exactly.
working with you, will that make their experience or your experience better or worse? And you're right. It's okay to say no, because
Yeah.
to me, that's being honest, right? If someone's going to come to me and say, you know, I have my son, he's 18 and he wants to train for hockey. My first thing would be, that's not the best person for me. First of all, I don't play hockey.
Yeah.
Second of all, that's a very specific training and muscle groups that you have to learn and to, you know, strengthen and make flexible and different types of power and mobility that I'm not familiar with,
Yeah.
right?
Which
So
we can study and take the time, but it's like that's still not our thing, you know.
yeah, and that's if you want to, right?
Yeah.
Then there's other people who love that. They play sports, so they want to just train athletes. A lot of my trainers want to train athletes. Other trainers love group training. That's the other thing. I'm not big on group training, right? I love one-on-one. I love to get deep and get my hands on them and really make sure they're doing their form properly and learn about their life and really see that progression. And for me, that group training with the extra excitement and being extroverted and shouting at them, and you know, that's just not my jive, but that's okay.
Yeah. Everyone has their thing, right? You can say no to certain people, but, like, you know, get to a certain point where you can say no, right?
Yes.
Where you start narrowing down, where you have too much variety, and then you start saying no, and then, like, that's what I did, you know, from year one. I was like, all right, take on everyone. Year two, take on everyone. Year three, not so much. Started to
Start to narrow it down, find out who you like, right? Because you're getting busy and you're in demand, which is
yeah
great. Yeah, for 15 years, I would say 10 out of 15 years, I trained everyone, anyone and everyone. And I loved it. Don't get me wrong, I loved it. But when I became a father and a husband, I had to realize my time is very valuable.
yeah
And so therefore, I don't have the time to train everybody. So I have to make sure that I'm working with the right ones that work with me, right? And so I would say for only the past 2 years out of the last 5 working on my own, I've narrowed it down. So that there you go. So out of the 15 years of working, 12 of them I've trained everybody,
yeah. Plus, you're happier, right?
and I'm happier.
When you train the right person, right? It's like
Yeah,
you
and then
know,
everybody else, I have amazing trainers that I work with, you included, that can work with them, right? So that doesn't mean they're not going to be service. It just might not be me.
yeah, no, exactly. No, it's cool. So
Sweet
that
man.
answers. Sorry, did you want to
No, go ahead,
answer?
go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say that answers the first question that one of Daniel's people um, had a question for. So we answered that. I hope that answers your guy's question. Whatever his name was, I couldn't remember. I couldn't remember what his name was.
It was actually one of our trainers, Jesse. Jesse
Okay,
was
Jesse.
asking
Okay.
the question,
Well,
and
I hope.
he had another one, kind of like a follow up was, and I'll give this one to you. Going from a box gym, what are the benefits and the positives that you can get now working in homes and becoming a mobile trainer opposed to working in a big box gym?
So I would say transitioning, like I would say, yeah, the difference between big box gym and in home is one, the clients come to you for a big box, right? Uh, but then in home, they either come to you or you go to them,
Right.
right? For, whether it's within a 1 hour radius, right? Like I said, like even in the previous topic that we talked about, right? You kind of go 1 hour. You start with 1 hour. You take on everyone within that 1 hour, and then you kind of start down and down, right? To people who are closer, so then you can service more. But yeah, there's going to be traveling costs. There's going to be time, right? You charge your time to travel and your time to train.
Train them. And people have to remember that an hour for us could be 90 to 2 hours, 90 minutes to 2 hours, right?
Yeah, exactly, and also more money, I would say, in home, because like once you start working for yourself, right? There's more opportunity, more. Obviously, starting something is going to be nerve wracking, right? But it's honestly worth it. It's worth the transition, right? Just from my experience, from big box to in home, more time, more freedom. You're less limited to just that brand,
Right.
right? Now you're working on your brand, your values, your training style, your
Right.
specific niche. So
Right.
then you can specialize in what you need to specialize in. So then you can help those people who need to be served,
I love
right?
it. I love it.
Uh, and yeah, like I'm gonna tell you a quick story about how I went um, in transition from big box to in home, and it's pretty much I worked at a big box gym for a year and a little bit. I had some difficulty finding what I really wanted to do to grow, right? Because I felt like after a year, I was hitting that board, just going through the motion,
Right.
sales,
Yeah.
this, hitting my quota. Okay, cool. And but what really taught me in big big box gym was the prospecting. So
Yes.
make sure that you're really good at prospecting, because you're going to need that skill to talk to people, to just communicating, right? Take that skill and apply it once you're on your own. um, so that's one really good tip, is just get really really good at prospecting, talking to people,
Yeah. And that
making
was,
that.
and I agree. That's the greatest thing about the big gym is you're around 1 to 200 people every single day. So even if it's not sales, it's saying hi, remembering people's names, remembering what kind of workouts they're doing, what their goals are, keeping that relationship. Those are very, very important.
Yeah, and it still applies to today, even online, right? As we all are operating online, right? Or even now that things are kind of going with the whole situation, right? We can still be physically distanced, but still make that effort to talking to people, getting to know people, right?
Right.
And yeah, and then after that, I met Daniel, right? Because I was prospecting, I was talking to people, I was building relationships, right? And remember, sales, it's not about being salesy, it's about having a relationship, building trust, building that likability, building a bond, so they know that you are the go-to person, right?
Right.
And so I met Daniel. I was seeing him squat like 9,000 pounds, and then I just said hi, talked to him, and then I was the first person to talk to him.
Yeah. And I made him know that. Out of the multiple times I went there every day, saw multiple trainers, Bond was the only person that actually came up and said hello to me. And that
That's
was
it.
sold. It was love.
that was it, And then we got to know each other, and then just finding out who he was as a person, and I found out like he has the same birthday as me. So does his partner, and it's like you create from just one high
Yeah.
came to so many opportunities. And if I didn't meet him at the time, because I also applied for something else, to be a management position, and I didn't know how to deal with it. So I asked him because I knew that he's been there already, right? And having that experience, I just went to him and I was like, "Hey, this is the situation," and then everything worked out. And long story short, he had moved on and started his own business, and then he got me. He told me that I should pretty much go on my own, and at that point, we're here now.
Yeah.
4 years later.
And
4 years
counting.
later.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So that's it, guys. You don't know what that one hello, that one introduction, that one opportunity can make for you. It could be life changing. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
I want to come in and say two things too. With the great thing about going from big box, in my experience, to mobile, the two most important objectives that I always got with training was time and money. I don't have the time to go to the gym. I wake up early, I go to work. I don't want to come home and change and then have to go to the gym and then work out and drive back, right? So boom, you don't have to do that. You wake up in the morning, I'm at your front door. You get home from work, I'm at your front door. It's your lunch break, you're at home, I'm at your front door. Are you at work and you have a lunch hour? I'll meet you at the park, right? So that time one, out the window. Second one is money. A lot of people don't want to spend money on a gym membership as well as personal training because most of them wouldn't go on their own outside of working with us. So putting that into play, using that finances to work with us, we're able to really tailor a whole program to them so they get the best experience they get for the best bang for their buck.
Yeah, no, it's true. I totally agree with that. And it's like, you can make all the excuses you want, but it's like, if you really want to change, then make that change, right?
Make that change. And a lot of them, they're hard. They want the excuse. So we make sure there is no excuse. And the
Yeah.
thing I love about you, what's happened with you, and I've seen your evolution, is you went from training everyone around Toronto, from downtown to Durham, to now you're able to train people online and you've built a gym in your own place. So now you're getting people come to you. So not only are you going to people's homes, but you have people in your area that come to you. So now you're able to train multiple people and save time yourself, right? So you've like this hybrid mobile training home, online service. Look at that, guys. This guy's doing 3-in-1. Where if he was at a big box gym, he'd have to stay at that spot for 9 hours a day, and that's all he could do.
Yeah.
Now he could do whatever he feels like he wants to do.
Yeah, and you got to live on your own terms. Yes, the beginning is going to suck, but it's your learning period.
Yes, it will, and it should.
Yeah.
because that builds character.
Yeah.
It's got to suck. Anything worth having will suck at the beginning.
Yeah. What's that saying? It's like fast success feeds your ego or something.
Yep.
And then slow success builds character, like that, something like that. I read it somewhere, but it's
It's
like,
true.
but yeah, it's you got to go through the grind, go through the struggle, right? And even when you get to year 4, year 5, right, you're still going to have struggle. Every year you're going to have struggle. Life hits you, finances, right? COVID, nobody knew that this was going to happen to us, right?
Right.
So there's always challenges every year. And Steve Harvey said this one time. He said, you overcome 100% of all your bad days, right?
Yes.
And it's like, it's so true, right? Everything that you do it's a learning experience, right? And it's like school. Entrepreneurship is just practical, applying knowledge that you've learned, right? Making mistakes, learning the lesson, and then growing from that experience. And then it's like school, but on a practical level.
Exactly. And the other thing too is you become adaptable because, like you said, with COVID, because we've built this character and this grit in us, we were able to adapt and grow through these hard times, right? If we had this nice little cush office or big box gym where we felt secure and everything like that, we wouldn't have that challenge, which challenged us through the hard time. So when this world has gone through this hard time, this is an everyday thing for us, man. This is just another day of the week. And all we had to do was adapt and change and adjust and to make it work for us. And both of us have flourished because of it, right? It didn't break us down. It didn't beat us down anymore because we've already had that which we put on ourselves for us to grow. So when we get into a situation like this or any external hardship, we're able to just cut through it like a diamond.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like Jim Rohn, don't pray or ask for things to get better. Ask for you to get better.
Yeah. And when you ask to be better, challenges are going to come your way.
Yes.
100%.
Beauty.
And if you want to grow, if you want to win, if you want to succeed, right, you're asking for challenges. You're asking for obstacles. You're asking for life
Exactly.
to hit you right in the
Right in the,
gutter.
right in the kisser.
Yeah. And that's just the way. That's the way how your life is going to be, right? And if you can get that through your thought process, then you can start handling those obstacles, those challenges a lot better because you know it's coming. All
Yeah.
right, this is challenge number 1. All right, cool. I'm gonna overcome it. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna plan it out. Boom, boom, boom. Or get a mentor, get help, ask
Yes.
questions, right?
Yes.
And we're here
Expect
to
the
help you
challenge.
if you have any questions,
Totally.
right?
Totally.
If I don't know anything,
And if I don't know, we'll find out. It's
but
all
like you
experience.
also have you also have pretty wealthy and knowledgeable like CEOs and people
Oh
to
yeah,
mentors to look up to.
every business idea that I think about, I have at least 3 or 4 people that I work with, client wise, that I can run it past to get their professional opinion, which has made my business tenfold,
Yeah,
right? Things that I thought was right were definitely not right. But they've had the experience. They've been in their game 10, 15, 20 years to get where they're at, right? So I get to be the student and I get to be the people in life where my expertise might be health and wellness, their expertise is in business because my expertise isn't in business. That's learning. I'm just learning that.
yeah,
But as I grow, I get to have a plethora of mentors around me, including my father, my wife's dad, who without him I wouldn't be here, and without him you wouldn't be here because he's the one that started both of us.
yeah,
Shout out to Terry Ratcliffe.
yeah. All the way from Stouffville, represent. But
Uh,
yeah, guys, if you have any more questions, right? Obviously, these were 2 business questions from Jesse. Jesse, awesome questions.
Thanks, man.
I hope it helps you. And we still have about like a list
Oh yeah,
of questions
keep them
to
coming.
answer. We can't answer it all like in one podcast, but the next episode we're gonna tackle like another two, and definitely tag the person who asked the question. So this will be on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, like I said. And you can reach me at Bontran Fitness on each platform, and you can reach Daniel Ashmead at
AshmeadFitness.com and Ashmead Fitness on Facebook and Insta.
Exactly. And guys, we're here to help. And if you have any questions, leave a comment below and or DM us. And that's it.
Peace and love, y'all.
We'll see you guys next week, 7:30 on Sunday. Take care. Bye.